Howdy y'all, it's that time of year when you have got to get things out of the garden. It's harvest day for us, we're excited, and it's mostly winter crops that we are getting out because it just got super hot here in Texas all of a sudden, like over the past couple of days, and I'll show you what happened. Some of you saw it already. I had beautiful heads of broccoli. Let me show you what happened to those and what we've got ready to pull out of the garden. I've got my helpers out here with me today, and these guys are going to be picking this over here. And that's our green English peas. These are still looking pretty good, even though it got really hot, but the bottoms of the plants are really starting to brown out and get, are dying back. So we've got to get the majority of these off of the plants. We should be able to get a meal or two out of what's left of this stand of peas. But oh, look over here on this other side. That was my beautiful head of broccoli just a few days ago, and I had another one right there, and that's totally gone. I can clip these off, of course, and eat them. And if you didn't know, you can eat the broccoli leaves. They're actually really delicious, and you can eat the inside of the stalk. Something else that we do have that's related to the broccoli are these right here. If you've never seen this, this is kohlrabi. Let me pick one of these and show you and describe what it's like. So this kohlrabi is part of the cruciferous vegetable family, and you eat the bulb here at the bottom. And if you've never had a broccoli stem, taking the skin off the broccoli stem and eating the inside of it, it's the same taste and texture as that. And if you're thinking, ew, well that doesn't sound very good, it's actually very, very tasty. And I like them a lot. I snack on them when I am cooking the broccoli florets, and I snack on the stem while I'm doing that, and I just eat it raw. And if you don't want to eat it raw, you can certainly cut this into maybe half-inch slices and bake it. Or if you do want to eat it raw, you can certainly shred it, put it on a salad. It's very, very good. So we've got a Savoy cabbage here, and the head is really small, so I'm going to let this one go, and hopefully it will form. And we've got our Napa cabbage, or Chinese cabbage, next to it. I've got another one here. Here's my poor broccoli again. Over here, we've got onions, and we need to get these out of the ground. Many of them have fallen over, and they're ready to be harvested. You can see I picked a few so far. Then I've got to get the grass out of here just in time for my melons and pumpkins to come up. And then of course the other day we did the potato video, and these are getting toward the end where we need to pick these also, but just not today. I did find a few broccoli florets that were just on the edge, and that is just good enough for a bite for one person. Sadly, our summer bib lettuce didn't like the summer too well. It's a really good lettuce for warm weather climates, but it just got too hot for it. It's starting to bolt, obviously. I tasted the leaves and they're a little bitter. So you could pick off these leaves and use them like a bitter salad leaf if you wanted, and that's cool. But these are gonna bolt pretty quick. You can see the flower heads forming here, and I am gonna gather a lot of seeds from these because I don't need to turn this bed over right away. We've got our climbing pole beans here. These are Blue Lake pole beans. And over here behind me, which I didn't weed very well at all, are our bush beans, and those are also Blue Lakes. Now these are just starting to produce for the summer, and they are a hot weather crop. But they've already got a lot of beans on them, so we need to harvest those quickly. Harvesting is a good lesson because if you let things go too long, then you just lose it. You lose out on it. Now let's see what we've got down in this bed over here. Well, we've got our radishes. These were giant icicle radishes, and we let them go too long. They're going to seed, but I'm gonna save these seeds. In the middle, we've got golden beets, and they didn't do very well at all. However, the Detroit dark beans are looking good, and we're gonna harvest some beets today. There we go. If you can see those, they're looking good. They're probably a little bit bigger than a golf ball each, so they're not gonna last out here too much longer, but beets are a little more hardy with the heat than most other things. We've got a little golden beet there. Our carrots will keep going into the little bit warmer weather, and that's okay. They didn't do well this year at all, and I'm not sure why. I think it was probably the nutrition in this bed. Along this edge, we've got cabbage. Now, I'm not sure, these didn't grow very fast. So see, they're so small They're not forming heads very fast, and it's getting hot out here. I might have to put a shade cloth over these so that hopefully that would help them form those heads a little quicker. What you getting there, Addie?
Beans.
Beans?
String beans.
You got some good ones? Don't pick the super tiny ones, just the good ones. Ones that are normal size, okay?
The big long ones?
Yeah, the big long ones.
Okay, I got all the big long ones.
Got them? All right, Daddy's gonna help you in a second.
These bean plants are doing so well.
Are they?
Really well. Look at this one. It has so many beans.
Let me step over the strawberries. Wow, there's more on the backside. Check those out. You getting a lot? Oh wow, yeah. And these will keep producing. We gotta weed them too at some point.
Yeah.
Let me get this Chinese cabbage out of here. This one looks fantastic. Oh man. I'm just gonna pull some of these outer leaves away. I might eat this one for dinner. Slice through it. Look at that beauty. I can see some of our medium that we used that comes with the green lacewing larva. If you haven't seen that video, check that out too. Okay, let's look through this beet patch here and see what we got. Ooh, that looks like a good one. Yeah, that's a solid beet right there. They're not super huge because they are growing pretty close together. I did thin them out once, but maybe it wasn't enough. Maybe they were planted a little too close together, but that is a good beet. As good as any organic beet in size that you will find in your local organic produce section at the store. Not too bad, and I've got a nice 10-foot row of these to get out of the ground. These are some pretty big onions this year. This is beautiful. We gotta get these out of the ground though so I can kill off this grass. Give our pumpkins and our melons some place to grow. Just grab at the base.
Here?
Yep, and just pull straight up. Look at that. See, it comes out pretty easily. Look at the size of those onions. So we're not gonna pull out the flowered ones because I wanna make some seed for next year, okay? And these we're gonna put on our drying rack. If you haven't seen my video for that drying rack, click on the video at the top of the screen. It's a simple, easy, great way to cure and dry your onions in an open air area, and it doesn't cost that much at all. Just a few 2x2s from the store. There's some hiding in this grass that I didn't get the weeds. Wait, look at those bulbs. That's beautiful for being in the grass.
Just bring it.
Wow, look at that. Here, go in front of the camera and show them how big those are. Here.
Oh my goodness. Look at these giant things.
So we've got a few things in the greenhouse here. We don't have any eggplant yet over there, but look at this. We've already got peppers. And I'm gonna show my little one with these pruners. Those are the little pruners. Just to clip them off at the top of the stem of the pepper. Can you get it?
Chop it here?
Yep.
Nice.
There you go.
Good job.
Those are your favorite, aren't they?
Yes.
We also have more beets here in the greenhouse, and we can get some beets from this area as well. And then also our Swiss chard is looking fantastic, and we should harvest some of that also. We've got rainbow chard, we've got a yellow down here. That's a white chard over there, and obviously the red one. We've got a broccoli here. This is a different variety, and look, that shade cloth on the greenhouse is helping us out a lot. I'm gonna let that one go and see how big of a head that I can get. Look at this beautiful blessing we got. We got an entire cart full of giant bulb onions. We've got Swiss chard, we've got kohlrabi, beets, more beets, we've got peas and beans and peppers. And check that out, I only picked one of the cabbages because the Napa cabbage or Chinese cabbage is more heat tolerant than the other style of cabbage. So those can stay out in the garden longer. The cool thing about harvesting in May is you're harvesting both summer and winter veggies. The winter veggies are at their end and they're ready to harvest, and then some of your summer veggies are starting to produce. We're gonna go get these onions on the curing rack and then make some dinner from what we got. That's gonna wrap it up from us today. Do you girls wanna say anything?
I hope you have a blessing in your garden too, if you have a garden.
That's nice. Ariel?
This is gonna make a lot of onion rings.
It's gonna make a lot of onion rings. All right, if you have any questions, please leave them for me in the comment section below. Now go check out this video right here, or this video series, which shows you how we built our greenhouse by ourselves. Have a beautiful, blessed day. We'll see you next time. Bye.